Example 4 says a dietitian at General Hospital wants a patient to have a meal that has 47 grams of protein, 58 grams of carbs, and 630 milligrams of calcium. The hospital service tells the dietitian that the dinner for the day is pork chops, corn on the cob, and 2% milk. Each serving of pork chop has 23 grams of protein, 0 grams of carbs, and 10 milligrams of calcium. You can see here, here's my pork chop column, and it has all that information. Here's your 23 grams of protein, your 0 carbs, and your 10 milligrams of calcium. Each serving of corn on the cob contains 3 grams of protein, 6 carbohydrates, and 10 milligrams of calcium. And each glass of milk contains 9 grams of protein, 13 grams of carbs, and 300 milligrams of calcium. So how many of each food should the dietitian provide for the patient? So all we need to do here is figure out what my equation equals and then figure out what my variables are. 2 hints here. One, it tells you up at the very top that it has 47 grams of protein. So here's my protein here. That's what this whole thing here needs to equal. 58 grams of carbs. So here's my carbs. So that needs to equal 58 grams. And 630 milligrams of calcium. So my calcium here needs to equal 630. It also wants to know how many servings of each food should the dietitian provide for the patient. So that tells me that my pork chop here is going to be represented by my X column. My corn on the cob is represented by my Y column. And then that 2% milk is going to be right here for my Z column. So this is my unknown X, Y, and Z. So this is basically already in an augmented matrix, but I'll go ahead and write it again. So my X column is 23, 0, and 10. My Y column is 3, 16, and 10. And my Z column is 9, 13, 300. Here's my bar, and it equals 47, 58, and 630. So let's use our RREF, which means I should get this right here. My diagonal of ones with zeros everywhere else, so I need to figure out what are these numbers at here. So let's go through our steps. Second matrix, come over here to edit, and we have a 3 by 4. So enter in your matrix. And then check them. Okay, I like mine. So I'm going to hit second quit. You can go through those steps of getting the RREF, but because I have this right up here, I'm going to highlight it, hit enter, and here is my new matrix in row reduced echelon form. 1, 2, 2. Okay, so what is everything representing? Here's my X, my Y, and my Z. My X column represents my pork chops, right? So we have 1X or 1 pork chop, but pork chop equals 1. So now I have my Y. I have 1 Y, but my Y is my corn on the cob. So my cob equals 2. And here's my Z column. 1 Z, or my glass of milk, equals 2. So in general, word problems need word answers. You're more than likely typing in 1, 2, and 2 under, by pork chop, corn on the cob, and 2%. But specifically, I'm thinking of my on-campus students on your test. You need to write out what we just found. The patients should be served 1 pork chop, 2 corn on the cobs, and 2 glasses of milk.